Good day, everyone. With great dedication and determination, we are proud to present our game project, The COVID Rush. COVID Rush is a side-scrolling runner game that takes place in a land filled with COVID-19 monsters. The game starts with a short narrative story of a monster invasion in which virus-shaped blob-like monsters representing COVID-19 took over the city. The player controls Arlo, a boy away from his family, to evade the COVID-19 monster rush and avoid getting infected. This is a web-based interactive game where the player jumps and runs to avoid collision with the monsters. The features of the game include key input handlers for users to control the player using the arrow keys of a keyboard, parallax backgrounds, randomized COVID-19 enemy motions, good graphic experience using sprite animation, collision detection, score tracker, game over functionality, increasing difficulty level, responsive design of the game from 1000 pixel screens and above. To build this game, we used HTML canvas, CSS, JavaScript, Figma for web design, and Photoshop for creating page heading titles. The intention of creating this web-based game using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is to provide an engaging and interactive gaming experience that can be easily accessed and played by anyone. This game is themed after the COVID-19 pandemic and provides a subtle reminder of the dangers of the coronavirus and the significance of distance as we battle against the pandemic. The game is designed to have different levels and challenges, providing an element of excitement, challenge, and enjoyment, which are essential at this time where people's mental health is at its lowest. COVID Rush is a game available for everyone. The simple mechanics are suitable for any player who uses a laptop or computer even without internet connection. Since the pandemic has affected everyone to some extent, people of any age and walks of life may want to have a fun experience with our main character Arlo in dodging COVID-19 monsters. The following are the designs for the start page, storyline pages, instruction pages, and game over page, which were made using Figma. The following sprite can be seen in the start page, which will be presented later. The following is the sprite used in the game when the character is running, jumping, and falling to avoid the COVID-19 monsters. The first two sprites were from Bevulin.com. Also, an image of a boy waving can be seen in the storyline pages, which was made using Photoshop. The sprite shown was used as the COVID-19 monster in the easy level of the game, which Arlo will try to avoid. Next, the sprite shown was used as the enemy in the average level of the game. Lastly, the sprite shown was used as the enemy to avoid in the difficult level of the game. Sound effects were also placed when the user clicked a button in the start, to instructions, and game over pages. Also, there were sound effects when the game character jumped and landed, which made the user merge into the gameplay of COVID Rush. These sound effects were from opengameart.org. 3 parallax backgrounds were used throughout the game with 5 layers each, which were all from Freepik. The first parallax background was used in the start to the instruction pages and in the easy level of the game. The second parallax background was used in the average level of the game, and the third parallax background was used in the difficult level of the game. To discuss our game, you can see the utilization of effective graphic design within the start page to display the theme fit for the game. An animated running boy can be seen, and this was possible to carry out through the use of an HTML canvas, and there is also a display of an animated set of viruses. Buttons can also be found here that manipulate the flow of the user's action, whether they want to start the game or take a peek at the story conveyed by the game, and instructions on how to play. Once the user finishes loading the game, they can hear background music playing on the start, story, and instructions page. Now, let's go over the story button. Once clicked, it should be displaying a story about what the game is all about. The player can then click the next button to navigate through the next parts of the story. After reaching the third part, a tutorial button can now be seen, and when clicked, it simply displays a set of instructions on how to play the game. One last next button, which shows a player a warning text on what they should be avoiding, and then that's it. A back to home button is now visible, which redirects them on the start page where they can begin and play the game. Moving on, when you click the start button, it directs you to the actual game, wherein you control the player to avoid the approaching viruses on your way. Should you be successful at dodging, you gain a point displayed on the scoreboard at the top left corner of the game screen. Upon reaching 10 points, the difficulty of the game shall increase, giving it a bit more challenge for the user. The sprite animation of the viruses and the parallax background undergo changes to indicate this new level. From here, the speed and motion of the COVID-19 monsters increase, making them more difficult to dodge. And at one point, should the user attain 20 points, the game changes once more to indicate another turnaround of difficulties. Again, increasing motion speed and modifying its trajectory, as well as changing the parallax background and COVID sprite animation. We have utilized parallax backgrounds for a more immersive 2D space experience. There is also a collision detection feature that is included, wherein when the character unfortunately collides with the virus, it then uses the concept of the Pythagorean theorem to detect the collision. Additional noteworthy feature of our game is that there is a visible icon on the Open tab that we have the game displayed on, wherein a favicon is added to help users easily identify and remember our website, as well as to distinguish it from other websites that they may have opened in their browser. Aside from the background music on the start page, the user can also hear another background music while playing. Also, there are sound effects when the buttons are clicked. Sounds are also added to the actions of the character when he jumps, lands, or gets hit by the virus, which enables a more holistic and enjoyable experience for our players. We do encourage you to give our game a shot. Thank you!